Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're not just watching an old movie. We're opening a time capsule. We're going back to the year 1971. What was America feeling? Anxiety, frustration, and a deep, unsettling sense of betrayal. The post-war dream was fading. The cities were becoming tougher, meaner. The crime rate, it was skyrocketing. People looked to the institutions they were supposed to trust. The government, the police, the courts. What did they see? Bureaucracy, red tape, compromise. They saw criminals with more rights than their victims. They saw a system that was slow, tangled, and impotent. They felt like the system they paid for, the one they believed in, was simply failing them. And then, out of San Francisco, walked a cop with a look that matched the national mood. He walked out of the shadows, and he carried a message. His name was Harry Callahan. His message was simple. Justice doesn't wait for paperwork. The birth of the anti-hero. Dirty Harry wasn't just another cop movie. It was a cultural cannonball. It was the first blockbuster film to really articulate the public's rage against the legal system. It was raw. It was powerful. And it spoke a truth that millions of Americans felt in their gut. The film opens by establishing the stakes immediately. San Francisco is terrorized by a serial killer, Scorpio. He's sadistic, he's smart, and he's exploiting every loophole the law offers. The police brass, they're constrained. They have rules, they have budgets, they have politics. And then there's Harry. Harry doesn't have time for politics. He doesn't have patience for rules. He's a relic, a stubborn moral force in a corrupt world. He's a man who understands one thing. The only thing that stops a bad guy with a gun is a good guy who uses his gun better. His entire character is built on one premise. The ends justify the means. It's a controversial premise. But for a nation paralyzed by fear and bureaucracy, it was a liberating fantasy. The iconography of indifference. Let's talk about the look, the walk, the sheer indifference of Harry Callahan. Clint Eastwood, a man whose career was already defined by the laconic, tough-as-nails cowboy, was the only choice. Eastwood embodied a stoic, classic masculinity that felt grounded. He was the opposite of the trendy, liberal politicians who were running the city. And then there's the gun. It's not some small police special. It's the Smith & Wesson Model 29, the .44 Magnum. Harry makes it clear. It's the most powerful handgun in the world. The gun is an extension of his will. It's an unambiguous statement. It's an artifact of power in an age of uncertainty. When he points that enormous piece of steel, there's no debate, no negotiation, just cold, hard consequence. It's a symbol that cuts through all the noise. It wasn't subtle. It was designed to make a point. And that point resonated deeply with the working-class, blue-collar men across America. They saw their own frustration projected onto that six-shooter. They saw their desire to skip the legal niceties and deliver the necessary judgment. The Miranda question. Go ahead, make my day. The core conflict of Dirty Harry isn't Harry versus Scorpio, it's Harry versus the law. The film directly tackles the Miranda Rights issue. For many Americans, the Miranda ruling was a turning point. It became a flashpoint of public anger. When Scorpio is initially caught, he's released because Harry's methods, his pursuit of justice, violated the killer's constitutional rights. Think about that moment for a second. The system protects a vicious killer. This wasn't just movie fiction. This was happening in real life. And Harry Callahan screams back at the bureaucracy that protects the criminal. He is the angry voice of the public. He is the man who says, I am done playing by your rules. he is forced to watch a maniac walk free. This betrayal is what cemented the audience's bond with Harry. He became their proxy, their surrogate. They weren't applauding the violence, they were applauding the moral clarity, the moral refusal to let a technicality override justice. How many times have you watched a trial on the news and thought the same thing? The price of righteousness. Harry's righteousness comes at a cost. He is constantly alienated. His bosses, like Lieutenant Bressler, are constantly fighting him. They're stuck dealing with the mayor, the ACLU, and the political fallout of Harry's actions. Harry's partner, Chico, tries to appeal to the rules. Harry shoots him down. Harry stands alone. He's the ultimate loner, the necessary outsider. This resonates with the mature male audience. They understand the reality of corporate and political structures. They know what it feels like to be told to follow a rule that makes no damn sense. They admire the man who doesn't just clock in and punch out. They admire the man who puts his personal moral code above his paycheck. Harry's indomitable will is what separated him from the crowd. He never doubts himself. He knows he's right. He is the epitome of the belief that integrity should trump policy. The cultural echo, from westerns to vigilantes. Where did this character come from? The spirit of Harry Callahan is forged in the American Western. Harry is essentially a gunfighter transplanted to the urban jungle of San Francisco. He's the direct spiritual successor to the nameless men Clint Eastwood played in the films of Sergio Leone. He's the sheriff who rides into town, cleans up the mess the civilized society couldn't handle, and then rides out again. He doesn't stay for the handshake. He doesn't stay for the parade. He's too honorable for their corrupt world. He's too pure for their muddy compromises. And this urban cowboy quickly spawned a new genre, the vigilante film. Films like Death Wish with Charles Bronson took the idea even further. They argued that if the police couldn't protect you, you had a moral obligation to protect yourself. This wasn't just Hollywood being edgy. This was Hollywood reflecting a pervasive, deep-seated shift in the American psyche. The citizen was taking back control. The final statement, dropping the badge. The final scene of the film is perhaps the most important. Harry corners Scorpio. He delivers the famous monologue, the iconic, "Do you feel lucky?" speech. He's not asking Scorpio a question about luck. He's asking America a question about their faith in the system. After he delivers the ultimate, unambiguous form of justice, Harry performs his final, defining act. He stands on the water's edge. He looks at his police badge. He looks at the system it represents. And then he throws it away. He doesn't retire. He doesn't quit. He makes a philosophical statement. He is rejecting the system that constantly failed him and failed the city. He is saying, "I will not be bound by rules that enable evil." The man walks off into the sunset, just like the cowboys who came before him. He is unbound. He is free. He is the justice the people wanted, but the system could never allow. The legacy of the 40 War Magnum. So why do men over 45 still connect with this 50-year-old character? Because that feeling of watching institutions decay hasn't gone away. It's amplified. We still see the legal system tied up in knots. We still see criminals celebrated or protected by technicalities. We still worry about the safety of our communities. Harry Callahan remains the fantasy of a simpler solution, a tough solution, a necessary solution. He is a reminder that sometimes the only thing more important than the law is the conscience of a single man. He is a testament to the belief that common sense and backbone are more valuable than a shelf full of statutes. Dirty Harry is more than a film. It is a time capsule of American rage, packaged in a trench coat and a .44 Magnum. It asks a difficult, enduring question. What is the true cost of order? And it suggests the answer lies with the man who was willing to pay the price. What do you think? Did Harry make the right choice when he threw that badge away? Let me know in the comments below.